I'm curious to know why Vivi got emotional.
Tell them.
I think because God's so good, that we're not perfect. I'm not perfect. I am probably one farther from perfect as can be, broken, and God's continuing to work in me, and God can use a crooked pencil to write, and he's going to further his kingdom regardless of us. And I feel honored that God's chosen us to be where we're at and to do what we're doing, and that he is going to, and he has shown to be there even when we don't feel like we deserve it. That he's entrusted his church to us. And that's intimidating, but that's rewarding and a blessing and an honor. That we continue to, I don't know how sometimes I doubt. I don't doubt in his goodness, but I like to take things upon myself.
It's funny, whenever we've done things in our own strength or in our own mindset, it's like we hit a wall. It's like, oh, I think this is the right thing to do, and then you just hit a wall, and yet then it's like God totally moves that wall, and you're just blown away by, like, I didn't have to do anything here. And he stepped in and just shown us how much we can trust him, and that he's still in this. He continues to affirm the calling that he gave us years ago, and that he's behind it, and that he is moving through it, and we can just continue to trust.
So our church believes in empowering, obviously, the church to do bigger things. What would be one thing that you would tell a church plant that wants to start up a ministry, regardless of where they are? What's one piece of advice that you would give them that you guys have learned in these 5 years that you think is necessary in order to church plant?
You start.
I would say the biggest thing that I've learned is to put the right people on the right seats of the bus. If you get the wrong people in the wrong area, it can really sabotage your ministry. And sometimes we want to look at giftedness and talent. And I would say character any day outweighs giftedness and talent. You get the right people who have the right character on the right position, you will see your ministry flourish.
Being a part of a church plant and going into church planting not knowing what we were getting ourselves into and not knowing how to church plant, we did, and we still do. We equip ourselves, we go to trainings, we read books, we watch webinars, and there's all of these, if you want to reach 200 people by day 30, this is what you do, and there's all these boot camps, and there's all of these strategies, and if God's not in it, it's not going to grow, first of all. Second of all, not that we don't do strategies, but we did strategy, for example, for small groups. We did everything by the book of what to do for a small group. And it's not until we let go and stopped all of those strategies and let God be in it that we're seeing small groups pop up, we're not doing anything now versus how hard we were trying at the beginning, and it's growing faster today than more than it ever has, which means that it's not us who builds it, it's God who builds his church.
So the last question would be, what do you guys see in the future? Like, where do you guys want the church to go, or what are the next steps that you want the church to be in?
My prayer is that the way that God has been faithful to us over the last 5 years is that he will continue to be faithful, and the same trust that we've learned to put in him, that we will continue to trust in him, and that he will honestly do it again, where we look back and we can reflect on these testimonies of God moving mountains over the next 5 years. I'm praying that he will move the same mountains or even greater mountains. I'm praying that we will end up with a building. I'm praying for multiplication, that we will end up with multiple campuses. And not for our glory by any means, but it's because I want to make the greatest impact that we can ever make to bring more Christians into the kingdom and for more people to be able to profess the name of Jesus. And so I always want to be outreaching, and I know for us to be outreaching and making impact within the kingdom that there are going to be struggles and there's going to be trials and there's going to be mountains to move. And I'm praying that God will continue to be faithful and he will multiply this ministry and show up and do more miracles and do it again.